Patrick Mahomes got fucking paid. 10-year extension, $503 million. This is the ultimate contract tweet porn that I still don't even understand his contract. Guaranteed mechanisms were trending because that was part of it. And it seems like it's a rolling contract that they get to keep paying him, and then he can get out at any time. But either way, he made a shitload of money.
Yeah, the bottom line is he's rich as fuck, and he's going to be even richer living in Kansas City, where he's a 24-year-old that never has to pay for a beer in his hometown. Mm-hmm. So right there, that's worth at least like $2 million a year. Plus he's getting about $500 million. It's like the guaranteed mechanisms part of the contract doesn't make sense to me, but they also said that it's not going to be rolling with the CBA with the cap is.
Right.
The cap hit jumps up to like $60 million in 5 or 6 years. At that point, he'll probably have renegotiated.
Right. He's going to keep renegotiating. He does get guaranteed $63 million a signing and a guaranteed total guarantees up to $141 million by March 2022. Now, you say the cap hit because this is the ultimate. Patrick Mahomes is worth it because it's almost like he's worth it because he already won a Super Bowl and you would pay a lot of money for a Super Bowl. Any franchise would. But the ultimate question now is, will paying Patrick Mahomes this much hurt the team? And of course it will, because he's going to be paid a lot of money. And is it going to be worth it in the long run when you have to figure out a way to cobble together a team by paying Patrick Mahomes this much?
I think the way that this summer has gone, you're kind of banking on the fact that the earth might not exist in 10 years. So you might as well give somebody a massive contract, and then 3-4 years down the line, it's like if the earth's still around, then yeah, we'll figure out that problem. We'll roll that ball down the hill. But anybody that plays with Patrick Mahomes is actually going to be elevated to a much higher level.
Correct.
So like you can afford to kind of recycle or get new wide receivers on rookie deals. You can get guys that are free agents that might not be that expensive, and just putting him in proximity of that arm, they're going to be worth a lot more.
But depth and margin for error gets a lot slimmer, and I'm not saying that they shouldn't have paid him. They clearly should have paid him. Mm-hmm. Now, obviously, I would never, could you imagine rooting for the same quarterback for 15 years? That's lame. I'm happy that
sounds
I have Mitch, and then someone else, and then someone else, and then someone else. And Mitch, he hasn't had his deal yet, so we don't know what it's going to be.
Well, this sets the market right now. There's actually a non-zero chance that the Chicago Bears see this, and they're like, you know what? We picked Mitch ahead of Patrick Mahomes, so technically I think we should probably pay him $560 million.
All right, wait. I want to think about it, Big Cat. Tom Brady's been a constant in my life since I was 10 years old. Super Bowls, 6 Super Bowls. The loss of him leaving is something that's really been hard for me to handle.
I can't grow emotional to anyone.
You don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, it's in and out. So, all right, so I want to get back to the Mitch aspect, but the Patrick Mahomes, so he is part of elite company. There are 13 guys who have won Super Bowl MVP and league MVP. 9 out of 13 are in the Hall of Fame. The other 3 are Aaron Rodgers, Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, and then the 13th is Patrick Mahomes. So essentially you're saying he's already a Hall of Famer.
Yes.
He is already in the upper echelon of NFL players when you actually break it down. It's there's only been 13 who have done this, and they're all fucking special.
So how many Super Bowls does he have to win in the next 10 years to make this contract worth it? I would say if he wins 6 Super Bowls on top of the one that he already has, then it's absolutely worth it.
Oh, I'd say it's way less. I'd say if he wins 2 more. If he wins 3 Super Bowls total, I think it's worth it. I mean, it's probably worth it. No, actually, let me take it back. It's worth it right now.
Listen, you know what I just talked myself into right there? I talked myself into an actual Skip Bayless debate on at what point who gives a fuck how much money the Chiefs spend on Patrick Mahomes? He's awesome. He's going to get paid, and he's going to be awesome to watch for me as an outsider for the next 10 years. I wish they'd paid him more.
If you, though, said over-under Super Bowls for Patrick Mahomes, and you said it at, let's say, 3.5, I would hammer the under. And that's nothing against Patrick Mahomes. That's just the NFL. Look at the big case for can you keep a roster intact when you pay a quarterback that much is Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson, first 4 years in the league, the Seahawks were dominant. They win a Super Bowl. They go to another one. The last 4 years, they're still good. So they won 46 games in the first 4 years, regular season games. They won 40 games in the last 4 years. And you might think 6 games isn't a lot, but they missed the playoffs by a game. they missed the bye by a game twice. So out of those 4 years, you basically eliminated a chance. Getting a bye is greatly increases your chances. So is Russell Wilson worth it? Yes, but it makes it a hell of a lot harder when you don't have the same depth and margin for error when you put together a roster.
You know who this really sucks for more than anybody is the people
Mitch Trubisky and Bears fans, yes.
just got Madden, and they're trying to set up their dynasty mode. And Patrick Mahomes used to be a very affordable quarterback, and now with the live update, they're getting absolutely hammered in their ability to create a team. Like fuck that. I would actually get a refund if I were them.
Yeah.
How much of a difference do you think Andy Reid makes in that situation versus Pete Carroll?
So Andy Reid, it's a good question, Hank. I think you absolutely no, I think Pete Carroll's a very good coach. Andy Reid's a better offensive coach, obviously, but Andy Reid, now that he has a Super Bowl, he's not going to coach forever. He's not going to be there for Patrick Mahomes.
What else is he going to do?
I don't think Andy. I think Andy Reid's probably got 5 more years, maybe. I mean,
he said today, "I'm a happy guy. I'm wearing my best Tommy Bahama." So he wore that as like that. His formal Hawaiian shirt is what he wore today. I shudder to think what Andy Reid's retirement Tommy Bahama shirt looks like.
Oh, it's gonna be great.
Because him having like a really nice one implies that he has like mood rings of Hawaiian shirts that he puts on, depending if he wakes up curious, if he wakes up angry, if he wakes up just in a great mood. He got a quarterback for the next 10 years. But yeah, I don't think that Andy is sticking around.
He's 62.
Yeah, he's 62. So Andy feels like a guy that might start fading off into the sunset.
Well,
and if he gets,
he also has a ring. He has a ring that changes everything.
If he gets another Super Bowl, he might retire at that point.
Right. You can't expect Andy Reid to be there for the length of I don't expect Patrick Mahomes' contract to be there for the length of the. I mean, it's like we said, it's going to renegotiate. Who knows what's going to happen? It's one of those weird spots in sports where you have to pay him blank check, $500 million, but you also have to acknowledge that it's going to be a hell of a lot harder going forward when he takes up 13-14% of the cap and putting together a roster. But I guess that's why you also pay Andy Reid, and you hope that Patrick Mahomes, like you said, elevates everyone else.
When I first saw this contract and I saw $500 million, my initial thought is that if I had that much money guaranteed when I was 24, I'd be fucking dead immediately. Like I don't think I would survive longer than 2 years if you paid me $127 million. Or what was the check that he got?
He got $66 million on signing.
On signing, if you gave me, well, that's really only like $35 million, so not really worth it after taxes.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you gave me $35 million, like cold hard cash in my bank account when I'm 24 years old, I'm dead by the time I'm 25.
At least he's living in Kansas City.
That's true.
Yeah, that definitely gives you a little more leeway on your life expectancy.
Does he move over to the Missouri side now that he's got a little money in his pocket?
People are wondering. So I got a cold takes exposed for you guys. On April 27, 2017, someone in the media tweeted, "Didn't trade up to take Patrick Mahomes in the top 10. That's a huge win."
That was Big Cat, I bet.
Fuck.
Yeah. Knew that was you.
That sucks so bad.
Knew that was you. Also, my favorite thing about quarterback contract Twitter is watching people just speculate, okay, who's next in line? What does this mean for Dak Prescott? And you know that
Lamar Jackson and Mitch Trubisky.
There are a lot of people saying like Dak is going to get a similar contract. That would be hilarious.
Yes.
I really hope that happens. That would actually make my day as a Washington to be determined fan. If Dak Prescott get paid $50 million a year, hell yeah, do it, Jerry.
That's the thing too with Mahomes. It's unprecedented. Yeah, I don't know if anyone's ever won a Super Bowl MVP and an MVP in his third season, really his second season. Like Big Ben won a Super Bowl in his second season, Tom Brady, but they didn't win MVPs until later on in their career.
And now you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that this is the first contract in the NFL where a player will be getting paid more money than Roger Goodell. Roger's going to be heated.
Yeah. What was his salary?
I think it was like $34 million last year.
Russ might have beaten that, but by a little. Yeah, I think Russ was like 36 or something.
No player has ever won a Super Bowl making more money than Roger Goodell.
Fact.
So I don't know. Is that trend going to continue with Patrick Mahomes? Many say it might.
So if you listen to this show for a long time, you know that I'm down to lose pieces of my body for whatever stupid things. I think now that like Patrick Mahomes has the first 3 years have played out, the first 3 years of Mitch have played out, I think I'd give up a leg to have Patrick Mahomes on the Bears. A full leg. Knee down.
Where, left leg?
Left leg, knee down.
Okay, you don't really...
I can't imagine what I would be thinking.
How long is this statement going to last? Because what if, he becomes a journeyman in 6 years? and ends up on the Bears.
Does he
through a
win
trade
another
or
MVP?
something.
Dude, you'll
Does
be
he
in your
win another
40s.
Super Bowl?
You don't need your legs in your 40s.
Dude, I just couldn't imagine having.
You won't be able to walk at your son's graduation. Big cat.
That's true.
crutch though, and everyone's like maybe gives me a little bit of applause.
Show up like Lieutenant Dan.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That was actually
Magic
a storyline in Adam Sandler's romp comedy of this week, the week of. It was a guy without legs, and everyone said that he was a World War II vet, and he wasn't. He had diabetes.
So a lot of people would
Hilarious
probably,
storyline.
a lot of
Played
people
by
would,
Rob Schneider.
No, it was some old guy I didn't know.
a lot of people would just assume that you were a veteran.
Yeah.
On the streets. I have a friend that lost a leg when he was in 5th grade, and a lot of people just come up to him and thank him for his service. He just stopped correcting them.
Yeah, it's so I just don't know is, and I like Mitch. I'm not trying to pile on him, but he's part of the conversation here. Is it like one of the worst
It's not
draft
his
picks?
fault. No.
It's not his fault, but is it one of the worst draft picks in terms
No.
of trading up
No,
and
yeah.
then having a guy like Patrick Mahomes who
You know what
could
you
be
need
the
to
best
do?
ever?
You know what you need to do? Mitch just needs to change his jersey number to number 9 because that's how many teams passed on Patrick Mahomes.
I just wish he had been drafted lower because then it's not. Oh my God, Ryan Pace should be fired just for this. Just for the minute that Patrick Mahomes signs that contract, be like, okay.
I think you should actually make
Walk
that a
us
public
through it
offer
again. Yeah.
for you to give up a leg. It's not a bad deal for you. You don't use your legs that much anyways.
No.
You probably get better at video games. Mm-hmm. You would lose some weight immediately.
Yep.
Boom. You
Instantly
get
under 200.
your
No, probably not.
BMI. Your BMI would be slightly overweight now.
Yeah. How much do you
instead
think a
of
leg
morbidly
weighs?
obese. Leg? Which one? Your left one?
Yeah.
Your leg? You've got skinny legs and like no ass. So I would say.
Thanks. I
Uh,
didn't ask about my ass.
your leg is the ass. That's a question.
leg-
No,
support,
I know,
yeah.
I know.
Is it-
yeah,
is
it was
the
an
ass-
open-ended leg ass roast?
Is your ass part of your leg?
No, I said knee down.
Knee down. I would go a little bit higher than that. Why would you want a knee if you didn't have a lower leg?
Oscar Pistorius.
You got-
Like,
yeah.
get the peg.
He
You got to
seems
go.
like a good dude.
You got to go right above the knee, if anything.
Okay.
I think that would probably cost you about 24 pounds.
I just can't. I just need to move on. We just need to move on.
Plus your other leg would
Patrick
get so
Mahomes, just
jacked.
go do your
It'd be
thing.
awesome.
Bears, go find someone else. Like I said, who would want to have their salary cap ruined by Patrick Mahomes?
And
Not me.
I think what you bring up about being bored with one quarterback, it's absolutely the truth.
Right.
I've watched probably 25 quarterbacks in the last 20 years in Washington. It's exhilarating.
Yeah.
Like
Every new guy could be the guy.
the 3 years I had with Kirk Cousins were the most boring years of my life. I was like, oh, who wants a guy that's going to go 8-8
Yeah.
and be consistent?
Dude, I sold myself on Mike Glennon.
Yeah.
I could sell myself on anyone. That thrill of being like, this is the guy. Chiefs fans don't have that anymore. You know what your guy is. Have fun with that. Not for me. All right, that's Patrick Mahomes.